have a jQuery UI. In that we have a date picker. So let me show you. So jQueryui.com, open that and then go to date picker. Just click on this, you will get a date picker. Here you have a date picker. So this is the date. So when you basically any table, any date picker, remember it's a table. Table has rows and columns, right? Based on that we can iterate that and select whichever date you want to do that. See, every row columns are different. So row and column increment, iterate all the columns. If you find the date, given date, and you click on that, that's as simple as that, right? That's what we are going to do here also. So, but I have written a simple reusable method for this. Test method I am taking, and WebDriver, WebDriver wait, null global variables we declared. In the so main part is this the one. So public void handle jQuery date and time picker string day. You give the your day, okay? It will select. So wait dot until expected conditions presence of element located this date picker. This is div. I'm waiting for this div. So let me show you that. Inspect so that you can get that. So that UI date picker title or show UI date picker. So it's a table kind of thing, right? So this one, that's a date picker title. We are waiting for that date picker title, and UI date picker div also there. You can see that UI date picker div. You can see somewhere. This is the one. So this is the entire table it is representing. I'm just checking. Wait for this div to appear, to be present in the page. That's what we are checking. Then, so you have all the tables, right? You have all the table. This is the table. So in the table, you have rows and columns. Then T body will be there. T body inside rows. TR. Then every TR has the columns. TD. Number of TDs you have. So this is the architecture of any date picker. So you have a table. Then T body inside rows. Rows inside each row has a columns. Columns are represented by TD. Each TD it is represented. So based on this logic, we can build our code. And here first I'm identifying the table element, web element, table equal to driver dot find element by dot class name, UI date picker calendar. Even you can use, so this is a class. Table has a class. So I'm using this UI date picker calendar. That's what I have put it here. And then so fetch all the rows in the table. So in this table, I'm fetching all the rows. Table dot find elements by dot xpath /tr, or you can use by dot tag name tr. You can use by dot tag name tr also. So now all table rows you're getting into list web element. Table rows are list web element. So now each row I need to iterate, right? Each row I need to iterate for web element row colon collection name table rows. Now each row, how many columns are there? I'm fetching all the columns. So again, list web element cells equal to row, individual row dot find elements by dot xpath //td, or you can use by dot tag name td tag. So it's up to you which one you want to use, by xpath or by tag name, whichever you want you can use. So this logic we explained in the beginning classes. Did you remember? In a particular parent element, how to fetch child elements. That logic I'm using here. See, first day class notes only you're using here again. It's not a new thing. So code is same, right? Code is same, but the scenario is different. The scenario is different. Now you got all cells here. Now iterate these cells. For web element cell colon cells, the collection name. If cell dot get text is equal to whatever the day you want to select. If equal to that day, then click on that day. Click on that day. Driver dot find element by dot link text of day dot click on that. So element, that's it. This is the one. And then driver dot switch to method dot default content, and you can scroll up a little bit if you want. So that's the code we have done, right? Simple, very simple thing, right? And here, this is inside the frame again, right? This is inside the frame. Web element, frame element equal to driver dot find element by dot class name demo frame. And so this is a click to open this date picker. So this, you need to click on this to open this date picker. So for that we can use direct ID also there, but I constructed an XPath. So you can see you have ID, but with that ID I'm constructing XPath, right? You can construct an XPath. So this is one star ID date picker. Okay. Then wait dot until expected conditions presence of element located this date picker. Then click on this date picker element, and then call this method. Which date you want to select? 29 I want to select. So 29 is not there, right? So you can give something like that, 20. Okay, I'll select 20 now. That's all about this code. Very simple code. And just this is all about the first day class, how to select a list of elements from the parent element. That logic we are using here. Okay, then run this and see whether you're able to select or not. I think we have to change the browser illegal state exception. The path to the driver executable must be set by WebDriver, but I given wrong path. Let me give the correct path. So I given wrong path. Let me set the correct path. So these exceptions, if they ask you, you can just explain those exceptions. Gecko driver. So let me copy Chrome driver exe file, or we need to change that to whatever it is. So we are using a Chrome browser. Let's use Chrome. Right click, run as. Let's say the Chrome browser is opened and application will open now. See that it is selecting 20 date. So whatever the date you give, it will select the date, right? That's all about how to select a date from the date pickers. Okay, and that's it. And we covered pretty much. Tables also we covered, and also even if you get a chance, you try this. Okay, so I'll give one more example. You just go to Heroku app, try this handling the tables. Same logic we are going to apply. If you're not able to do that, let me know, I'll just do that. Okay, so this is the tables, right? We have two tables. Here two tables. So first you get all this table data. This table, we have this entire thing is represented by table. Just see that. So what is that? How it is structured in the HTML, so that you can easily understand. See that you have a table ID. So the same way how we did, you follow that, then you can get all the rows, then get all the columns. And then if you want particular text, you write an XPath, right? A customized XPath you write, then it will help you, right? So this is the every row. See, this is the row one, and then so you have a th inside this span, and th, so like this, so you can get all the things. So here is another one. Every row has a tr, td, all these things. So you can see this row you can ignore, and we can start from t body onwards. T body, tr. So this tr contains again many tds, right? The same way how we did for the date picker, you can try that. So that logic you can apply and get all of them, and get the particular text, particular cell text. If you want to get, you construct an XPath. So that will help you. You parameterize the XPath. Don't hard code, and parameterize the XPath, and it will help you to get whatever the cell address text you want to get, you can get it. So this is the another very easy one, and try it out. If not, let me know, I'll explain the code. Okay, So this just think, just little bit you think, and you can get whatever the text you want. Try to get a due amount of particular row, and you just give row and column address, and then fetch that text of that cell. So for example, third row and third column value you want. You just construct an XPath, the parameterization. You do parameterized method. You create a parameterized method, get cell text, the method you write. In that, so you give rows count and columns count. You give a construct an XPath to get that, and in the whenever you are calling this method, you just pass the rows and columns count. Then it has to get that cell address. So try to build an XPath which is having, so observe this and construct an XPath. So if you don't know, just right click here, copy XPath. So and analyze this XPath, okay? Analyze this XPath, right? This is the one, TR3, TD3. And same way, TR2, maybe same row, and column, you change 4. Just what is changing here? Rows count and columns count is changing. So then create a method. So the number integer row count integer columns. Just that you pass it here. How to pass a parameter in this XPath? Double quotes plus row plus double quotes. Here also double quotes plus column plus double quotes. That's how to parameterize the XPath, right? Try this. We already done this kind of scenarios in the beginning. So this all going to come, just think little bit all our scenarios, previous scenarios, you will get a better idea. That's what I'm saying. Each and every program is unique, and you will get some information to automate other scenarios. That's why you should understand and automate it, and just blindly don't go. If I'm telling some program is, there is a lot of meaning for that, and practice this, it will help you. Okay, so I hope you will do that. This is the exercise I'm giving for you, and try. So what you need to do, you have to construct you have to write a method. You have to write a method. That method is get cell text method you create, and the parameterized method you have to parameters take int row comma int columns. This is the method parameters. I'm writing here one more time for you. Private static or non-static, whatever, string return type method, get cell or get cell data, whatever it is. So int row comma int columns. So this is the method you have to build, and in the XPath, wherever you are using this XPath, replace this double quotes, right, plus row plus. So now it will work for any row, any column, it's up to you, right? This is the way you need to automate the parameterization, and use a get text private dot find element. You just write string data equal to driver dot find element, so by dot XPath. Anyway, I'm giving complete code for you. It's just method I'm giving. Remaining thing you automate it. Dot get text. So this is the complete, and then return data, the return type method. How to get cell data? I have given the method. This is the method you have to use to get that cell data. Remaining thing, you just identify the table, fetch all the rows, and if you want, you can print all the rows and columns data. If you want to print, you can just print them. Okay, so just try this. If you're not able to do, let me know. I'll explain later. Right? Is it clear or any doubt?